Naomi has the heat just blasting because it's so cold.
You put the heat on max.
You put it on close to max. So we just saw the new Willy Wonka movie. It's just called Wonka. And I don't know if I would have seen this had I not been paid to do it. Thanks for the person who paid us to watch it, by the way.
Yeah, I definitely probably wouldn't have seen it either, but I had a good time.
Wait, there's actually a new intro for this series, so let's roll it. So how was that, Naomi?
With what?
The intro.
I guess it was good.
Okay, so listen. Someone paid us to go see Wonka. Like we haven't done these movie things. I mean, since when? What was the?
I don't know. Before COVID.
No. Before it was in the end of 2023. You haven't gone in a few months, and I'm like, I kind of want to go see a movie with you, Naomi. Because you haven't gone, and like it's like one of our movie nights. It's like a date kind of thing that we do sometimes. And yeah, I'm just like. But you don't think so? You don't think going to movies is a date?
I mean, I guess it is, yeah. I'm not saying it's not!
Give me your...
Oh, no! It keeps the warm,
Like this? Ooh. How's that?
Worse.
Is it? What if I just...
Better.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Well, honestly, the light of the theater is kind of helping a lot.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, it is cold in the winter in Canada right now. Well, so we have to do this...
It's only minus 16. That's actually not that cold.
Minus 16 Celsius.
Considering it's February.
No, it's colder. It was minus 16 when we went into the theater. Now it's later, so it's definitely colder. Oh. Minus 16 Celsius is pretty cold by American standards. And only like minorly cold by Canadian standards. But we're sitting in a car with no heat, so it's time for us to get this review on the road. So I remember seeing the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie.
Me too.
As a kid.
Yeah.
And it was like a 1960s or 70s. I think it was a 70s movie.
I don't know.
I remember I've only seen it once though, and I saw it when I was young. And everyone keeps saying this is an amazing movie, and I want you're just like bundled up, aren't you? I wanted to like go back and watch it, and I just haven't. But I've always wanted to. Maybe this would be the impetus for me to go back and watch it now because
if you want.
Yeah. I did see the 2005 Johnny Depp.
I've also seen that one.
Movie. Move on. I saw it. Actually, I think I saw it with my family.
Weird.
Yeah, really. Wait, your family didn't went to movies together?
Oh, no, we did.
What the fuck? Why is it weird?
I don't know.
Fuck you. Okay, listen. I'm pretty sure I saw it with my parents and my sister. It was like a family thing when I was younger, but I don't remember anything about it. Was it a remake or was it a sequel to the original?
It was a remake.
It was a remake. Okay, because this is a prequel.
Yeah, this is a prequel. That was a full-on remake that a lot of people didn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they wanted to make it into like a new thing, and it just...
Yeah.
No. Also, you know what? I mix up Johnny Depp in that and Johnny Depp in the Alice movie that he also did around the same time.
Really?
Because they're both kind of like mediocre movies where he's like the same fucking character in each one. Guy with top hat who acts zany.
I honestly probably would have enjoyed those Alice movies if it was like more like a TV show.
Wasn't there only one?
No, there's two.
Was there?
Yep.
I only saw one of them.
I don't remember the second one at all. I watched it. I don't remember anything about it, but I did watch it, and there was a second one.
I guess the question then is, if we're going to go deep into the Willy Wonka lore, is this a prequel to the original or a prequel to the Johnny Depp remake in 2005? Not that it matters, I guess.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, okay, so...
we're going to assume that it's to the original?
Probably, yeah. So, I mean, we all know the Willy Wonka basic story. He's getting older. He's kind of retiring. He wants to pass on the chocolate factory. I don't remember if he's retiring, but he wants to pass on the chocolate factory. He's getting out the golden tickets.
Well, no, he's not retiring yet, but like he's getting. I think canonically in the movie he's like in his 40s or 50s or something. So
he's
now he's just like, I need a protege. Shit. Mm-hmm. And the Oompa Loompas can't be my protege because they're Oompa Loompas and I'm racist. So it has to be a human boy.
Yeah, so he sends out a bunch of tickets to humans, and all the boys suck, and like they all kind of meet. They meet
all the boys. It's girls and boys.
Yeah, but still though, the point is that
all the boys.
Fine.
The children. Damn,
the kids.
All
fine. Naomi, listen. The kids, for the most part, meet like.
Untimely deaths,
but they're like...
you can tell, okay, listen, I'm trolling you so fucking hard, I can tell you barely remember the original movie.
I barely remember it.
They didn't have any untimely deaths.
There were.
No, there weren't actual deaths.
This is what I'm trying to fucking say. This is not you trolling me. This is me trying to get the fucking proper words out, Naomi.
Oh,
listen, okay. They were like, there were untimely deaths, but they weren't ever shown on screen. It's like, oh yeah, that kid got lost in like the chocolate sauce. Oh, he's gone now. And like this, like there was a few instances where the kids just vanished, and it's implied they died. They never showed it, and they just like forget about it.
Okay, well in the remake they actually show all the kids like
dying.
No, relatively unharmed.
Oh, okay.
Like the girl who ate the blueberry candy is like just a blueberry, and they're just like rolling her away. And the guy who got sucked up into the chocolate is just like made out of chocolate now. And he's walking away from the factory. He's eating himself as he's walking away. It's actually really funny. And then
that's like horrific, actually. Yeah. If you think about it for more than a second.
Yeah. The Veruska, I don't remember her name. The girl who in the remake got like eaten by squirrels. She's just shown with like a whole bunch of like scratch marks and everything on her. And I don't remember what happened to the other kid. Oh
it was slightly gruesome.
He was shown. Okay, so he got stuck in a TV, and so then. As he was leaving the factory, I think he was just like all staticky.
Okay.
Like not his person, but he had the like static like flowing off of him, like little blue shucks. Yeah.
No, there was some weirdness in the original
one. Yeah.
Because it was like the 70s. They didn't fucking care. It's these kids died, dude.
No, listen. Okay, did you know? Since you seem to not know any Willy Wonka lore, apparently. Not much.
That
do you remember the tunnel scene?
Where they're going through and like he's like singing and it's like it's getting trippy.
It's really fucking creepy. But also, that was the very first time that any of the other actors other than the main actor of Willy Wonka had done that scene. Because all their reactions of fear and grotesqueness were real. And I love when that happens in movies.
Yeah. It is funny.
Torture the actors.
It is funny when you get on camera someone's actual reaction. I mean, the scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin where they're waxing the guy's chest comes to mind. That was a real reaction.
Apparently they had to do that multiple times.
No. Apparently, no. What happened is he did it once, and when he got up and left with it half done, that was actually the actor quitting. Yeah. But there's several instances over the course of, like, in Lord of the Rings when Aragorn kicks the helmet, he broke his toe. So stuff like this definitely happens, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we have to actually talk about the movie.
We have to talk about this movie finally. Okay, so this is a prequel to one of the Wonkas. It doesn't matter which one.
Because the one's a remake, so it doesn't matter.
And it's very clearly like Willy Wonka as a young boy. A young lad.
He's like 20.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's moving to the city for the first time.
After living 7 years at sea.
Yeah.
It starts off with a musical number, by the way.
By the way, we're not going to go into detail with every single thing because I want... See this clock right here, Naomi?
Yeah.
When that ticks... like 15 minutes from now, I want to be gone.
Okay.
We're gonna freeze in here otherwise. Okay.
I'll be fine, unlike you, because I am actually Canadian.
I guarantee you, Naomi, you will be complaining so hard, despite all the wrappings you have up.
Maybe.
So listen. So he arrives at the city, and
in song.
It's a musical. They sing a lot. Actually, not that much.
Okay, listen. It actually.
They do some singing.
Listen. They sang a lot, but it feels like a Broadway musical, like just on screen.
Yep.
And it's kind of fantastic because like there's lots of shows and movies and whatnot that like try to do the feeling like a musical, and like it just feels like a musical on TV. Like this could very easily be translated into a stage play. Yeah. Like I was actually quite impressed.
So Willy Wonka, he arrives at the city. He's pretty poor, but he says, "You know what? I have a dream. I'm the best chocolatier around. I'm going to make my chocolate factory."
He has 12 shillings. They're not called shillings, and I don't remember what they're called.
No, they're called 12
shillings.
They're not called shillings.
I know they're not called shillings. They start with an S, though.
Yeah, and it sounds like shilling. Is it sovereigns?
Sovereigns.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And
give me your king.
So I don't recall where Willy Wonka takes place in the original movie. Was it in the real world? Is it just vaguely Europe?
It's vaguely Europe.
Yeah, but okay. The Willy Wonka character does he have a British accent in the original?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either because like this
Probably.
guy. It's funny.
Does Gene Wilder have a British accent?
I don't. Hold on. This guy doesn't, but everyone else does, and I'm like, is this an American character?
Okay, no, listen. It's like even in the originals, it was like vaguely European and American. Like
yes,
it's a vague.
Yeah.
Area.
So here's the thing. He arrives in the city. And the city's like the city's architecture and level of technology ranges from the Victorian period up until World War II.
Steampunk.
It just spans in between them. Oh, this light went off. Uh-oh.
Well, yeah,
maybe
of course
we'll
it
turn.
did.
Hold on. What if I did this one in the back? Oh,
Ah.
nah. What if I did this one in the front?
Ah.
Good enough. So listen. And he was like, "Arr."
The light
So listen.
is bad.
The actual setting of the movie, it ranges from like there's old buildings that are very clearly like Victorian, and there's a bunch of Victorian architecture, and there's like some old Victorian technology,
Which is why it's vaguely Europe.
and Victorian dress as well.
Yeah.
But like for example, at the end of the movie, the guy's using a revolver that seems like early 1900s. The cars are definitely like World War II era cars. Like, those are like German World War II like civilian cars that they're driving around. So yeah, like it's very strange. Like there's no set time period.
Which is fine.
It's fine because if you kind of like if you go back and watch like period stuff up into like from like 1900 up to World War II, that period they had no problem boring from the 1800s. Like if you watch like the really old movies or like the old if you read some of the old books like that. And especially in our modern conception, all that stuff kind of blends together anyway.
Yeah,
that period.
all the same.
It's like Industrial Revolution up till World War II.
That's the same.
For us here,
Nothing
yeah,
happened.
it's basically the same. And then World War II, that's when like history starts for a lot of Westerners, right? So everything before that was tanks. Everything before that was all just kind of this mishmash, which is why it kind of works in the movie, even though it doesn't make sense when you think about it, but it works.
Listen, this is a kids' movie. You don't have to actually think
it is a
about
kid's
anything.
movie.
The one thing that I'm slightly annoyed by that they never ever addressed was his hat.
He has a top hat?
Nope, that is like some sort of fucking magical hat.
Oh, yeah. So this is something so he seems to be magic?
He was
kind of magic in the original, but not really, from what I remember.
Okay. It was more that the chocolate was magical, and he was a weird fucking dude who was obviously much smarter than the average bear.
Yeah, and he was brewing the magic chocolate. But in this one, he's like pulling shit out of his hat. He has like a magic staff. He's doing all this crazy stuff with all this magic.
They try to address it by saying that he's a magician. That was fine. It's just the fact that he was hiding like a teapot in his hat. It was like a Mary Poppins bag, but like as a hat. And they never ever addressed it ever. And it made me everything else I was fine with.
Well, to be fair, like if you're
hat.
let's say that you're a kid and you're watching this, right? Like you're 7 years old. Like you're just gonna get it. It's like he just has it in his hat. Like it makes sense for kids.
No, listen, I understood and I accepted everything else but the hat.
But the hat. Okay.
But the hat. I just wanted an explanation for the hat.
I'm gonna give you like the 2-minute version of the plot, okay? And don't you dare interrupt if I skip over things. Yeah, wrap yourself up, Naomi. So,
Go.
he arrives in the city. He's poor. He has to sleep on a bench for the night. A thug comes up, who's kind of like he seems like the what's the type in like Dickensian kind of writing. He's the guy who's like kind of stupid, but he's strong, and he takes advantage of the new guy in town. So he's like, come stay at this inn that I know. So he goes over to the inn, and turns out the inn has fine print, which he doesn't read. So he's stuck there. After he stays there for a day, he has like marginal success trying to sell his chocolates on the street, but the police come and shoo him away. And then he has to go back to the inn, and he's like, well, you got to pay up. And then he's stuck there. So he then gets drafted into
laundry.
Like what's it called? Indentured servitude, because he owes money on his bill there. He's like, oh shit, I didn't read the fine print, dude. So he's stuck doing laundry. And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to get out of this because everyone here owes like 30 years, and so do I. Or like, so we're gonna get the fuck out of this. So he decides he builds an automated machine to do all the washing for the hotel, and then he sneaks out. And when he sneaks out, he tries to sell chocolate again. And he again makes some headway, but it's still not going great. And now what's happening at the same time is there's these other 3 chocolate. There's a place. Chocolatiers. There's other 3 chocolate makers, and they're like kind of slimy, like capitalist types, and they're like, we don't want the extra competition in this town, so how about you fuck off? And they're paying off the police with chocolate, of course. It's a kids movie. They're like, we'll just pay you in chocolate. By the way, every time you see the police, he gets fatter.
It's actually really funny
because he's just eating the chocolate they give him. It's like, oh my god! Like by the end of the movie, he's like, he can't get out of his car. He's so fucking fat. Like, holy shit, dude, this is hilarious. Basically, as the story ramps up, because he sneaks in and out of the place several times, and he ends up like getting the other people working in the hotel on his side, and
indentured servitude in the hotel.
Yeah,
also
they're all So they start helping him with his sneaking out business and like selling chocolate business, and they start using the tunnels under the city to escape the cops. So he'll go to like one street corner, sell a bunch of chocolate. The cops show up. He goes down into like a manhole and goes somewhere else, right? And that's how they're starting to make money, and they're making some pretty good money. So they make enough money to go and to buy the fourth shop, because there's like a mall where like the 3 chocolatiers are, and then there's like an empty shop, and they rent out the fourth shop. They build like the first iteration of the Wonka factory, where there's like a big tree and like the moat of chocolate and all that shit, and they're in there doing stuff, and it turns out that the other 3 chocolatiers paid off the woman who runs the inn and like holds everyone in servitude with the bills. They paid her off to poison the chocolate to make everyone's like hair grow funny. So like they have like green hair and like wild yellow hair, and like their skin changes color, and everyone's losing their mind. Like, oh my god, you poisoned us! There's like a riot in the fucking mall. And then one lady, it's the most comically stupid. She's like, I'll teach you to poison my daughter by making her hair blue. And then she goes and she like cuts the rope, and like a chandelier falls, and it's like it has a bunch of candles on it, right? So just like lights the whole place. The whole place just burns.
Okay, I want to interrupt.
Okay, go ahead.
Only because Dev fully butchered that line.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna repeat it, but it's actually really, really funny. It's
repeat it.
I don't even fully remember the line, but you butchered it.
Oh, sorry.
No, it was like, that'll teach you to mustache my daughter, or something like that. Like it's so funny.
Yeah, because she had like a yellow mustache.
She had
a poison.
Big curly the daughter had a big curly orange mustache, and it was hilarious.
So this is like the end of the second act, where the hero, he goes down and like he loses everything, and he has to rebuild for the final confrontation. This movie's very by the book.
Oh yeah, there's so
Everything
many
was predicted.
tropes.
Yeah.
I you know what? I made a crackpot theory that I thought was going to be true about one of the indentured servants because they were a child, was gonna get adopted by one of the nice police officers.
Didn't happen, no.
It didn't happen. I actually kind of wanted it to, though. That would have been kind of neat, but I don't think he was in the movie enough.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, because I made that
the one good cop was there for like 3 scenes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's like, everything's fucked, dude. The whole place burnt down. I'm fucked. And so they devise a plan. And no, what happens is they say, listen, Wonka, we will buy all of your friends' freedom if you leave town and never come back and never make chocolate again. And he's like, okay. So he gets on a boat that's going to the North Pole, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna fucking die in the North Pole anyway.
Well, I mean, I think that the point was to, like, they were metaphorically sending him off to do his death by sending him to the North Pole.
Yeah.
Like, that was the point.
But then it turns out that, like, the ship was rigged with explosives, and one of the Oompa Loompas save him, because there's a sub-thread throughout the movie where there's one single Oompa Loompa who's been chasing him around the world and shows up every few weeks to steal his latest batch of chocolate, because Willy Wonka owes him a bunch of chocolate.
Yes. 1,000-fold.
1,000-fold of the chocolate he stole.
Which was 4 cocoa beans.
Per Oompa Loompa law. So he's been coming back every few weeks and just stealing his fucking chocolate. He's like, what the fuck, dude? So the Oompa Loompa shows up and is like, okay, I'm here to steal this batch of chocolate. I'm here to steal it. And Wonka's like, I don't have any, dude. And he's like, oh, that's disappointing. And then they realize, like, the ship's abandoned and has a bomb on it. And they're like, oh, fuck. So, like, they abandon ship.
They jump into the frezing cold ocean. They should have died.
This takes place in, like January or something. It's winter.
There's winter everywhere. They should have died.
It almost feels like a Christmas movie, but there's no Christmas stuff in it.
Almost, yeah. I think that kind of adds to, like, the wonder and the charm of the movie, though.
Setting it near Christmas, but not having a Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, making it feel like Christmas. There's no dates or times or anything.
And there's no Christmassy, like, there's no trees.
Nothing.
No trees, no lights.
There's snow. Yeah. But I think that was one of the reasons.
Yeah. So the ship sinks, and then the 3 chocolatiers feel like they've won. The ship sinks. It blows up.
Listen, but
it blows
like,
up, then it sinks.
Explodes.
It's a big explosion, yeah. And they're like, haha, we've won. And then, like, everyone else is freed except for the one little black girl. And she's like, yeah, well, guess what? That black chocolatier who's obviously related to you somehow because you have the same ring, he paid me to keep you here even longer. And so she gets locked up. And then Willy Wonka comes and saves her. And so does all the other people that were freed. They're all like, fuck, we're going to take down the man. So they go and save her. And then they go, they devise a plan, because it turns out...
It turns into a heist movie.
It turns into a heist movie. Because it turns out that their entire vault of chocolate, it's all liquid, it's beneath the cathedral in the city.
Yep.
And basically, the church is paid off also in chocolate by these guys.
They're all
so they have their secret base underneath the cathedral. So they devise a plan that I'm not going to go into because it's too fucking stupid and long. They devise a plan that involves like a giraffe, okay? But they break in down there, and then they get a hold of the ledger. You know, the ledger that for some reason the criminals record all of their criminal dealings in, so they can.
Well, listen.
It's a kids movie. It's a kids movie. It's a kids movie. I get it.
You're a criminal doesn't mean you can't have good bookkeeping.
Yeah. So
they were smart. They had the bad accounts, and then they had the good accounts.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume it's trying to do that to save battery.
Yeah.
One day we're gonna freeze doing this.
Then we'll be quick. So listen, here's what ends up happening. Okay, here's what ends up happening.
Mm-hmm.
They get
to a heist movie.
They get the ledger, and then just in the nick of time, the three chocolatiers are down there, and he's holding the gun from obviously like 50 years in the future, and he's like, "All right, Wonka, you've ruined my business enough." So they push them into the vault of chocolate, which is like a giant like mixing bowl, and it's like, all of our liquid chocolate is here, and now you will drown in chocolate. Ha 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 ha.
Because they add more chocolate in.
Yeah, they start pouring this chocolate, so it's falling in. It's like a James Bond fucking execution.
It's like a James Bond execution. For those of you that have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's like that scene with Aang and Zuko, just stuck in like the sludge, trying to like breathe through a grate.
Yep.
Except there was no grate to breathe through.
There was a window instead. But basically, they're like, "We're gonna die now. It's time." And then the Oompa Loompa shows up, and he's like, "You still owe me chocolate." So he frees them, right? And then they go back up to the surface, and he comes up, and he's like, "I got the ledger, I got everything." And then he shows it to the good cop, because the bad cop can't get out of his fucking car.
Yep.
He shows it to the good cop, and the good cop's like, "You're all going to jail, boys." And like everyone lives happy ever after. And in fact, everyone actually does live happily ever after, because Wonka gets closure with his mom, who's dead by some unknown...
She got sick and died.
She got sick. The black girl gets to meet her mother.
Yeah.
Because they find her, and they're like, "Here you go," and like everyone else goes back to their lives, and then Wonka's like, he goes with his one Oompa Loompa. He's like, "Okay, I've paid off the debt. I'm gonna build a chocolate factory," and he convinces him to come work for him, and then they go to like a castle and they build a chocolate factory. So like they just set it up for the original movie.
Yep.
Right? It's like, okay, so there's your plot, and it's like everything. If you've watched any movies at all, you could predict the entire thing, because it's like, yes, of course they're going to end with the orphan girl finding her mother. You know, of course they're going to end like everything. And okay, did you know what the mom said in the note to Willy Wonka at the start of the movie that is then in the chocolate that he eats at the end? It was obvious, right?
Yeah, it was like, I knew it was going to be something about there's no secret ingredients. It's
friendship.
Yes, it's friendship. It's love.
And that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing new in this movie, but if you're a kid, you're going to love it, and it's very competently well done.
You know what? Yeah, it's a surprisingly good movie for what it's like, what I thought I was going into. You can ask Dev, I did not want to go fucking watch this today.
No, you didn't.
I was very against doing it.
And you know what? The only reason I did is because someone sent us the money. So by the way, if you want us to do any more movies, I want Naomi to go see the Mean Girls remake, because she loves the original Mean Girls. If you send us Mean Girls money...
Does it need to be remade?
If you send us Mean Girl money, I'll make you watch it. So... Listen, if you want us to watch more movies, you send those dollary dues over the internets.
Now, of course, we're still gonna go watch other movies, but we're not gonna watch movies that I do not want to watch, or that you don't want to watch specifically.
Unless you pay us.
Unless you pay us, because we're whores.
Yeah. I mean, Artemis is still like $250 for Halo, the Halo season 1.
I'm not fucking watching it. No. I'm not going through another goddamn Picard. No.
Arch and Kibbs watched the first episode of season 2 and said, I think I said it was okay.
I don't care. Halo is dead to me.
Is it?
Yes.
Including the games?
Kinda.
Sure.
Well, but...
I've already made a thumbnail.
Listen, they already ruined the series for the the fourth game, and then the fifth game by taking out local co-op.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah. Anyway, about this movie. This is a surprisingly good movie. Timothée Chalamet is actually an amazing actor, and I think is one of the reasons why this movie was, good.
Yeah, because he actually did... Well, I wasn't convinced in the first 10 minutes or so, but he warmed up me.
This is because the first 10 minutes was a song.
Yeah. But
it was entirely a song.
Yeah, but still, like, he is actually really good as Willy Wonka.
He was really good, because, like, it's not even just, like, as Willy Wonka.
Okay. Star Trek Strange New Worlds has the best and worst examples of this.
Okay.
The worst example is who they cast as James Kirk. He's a terrible Kirk. A good actor, a terrible Kirk.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember.
You even said he was terrible.
I probably...
And then, in the other side of the spectrum, the actor they cast for Scotty was a great Scotty.
Good.
He was identical.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you have the two extremes here. And this guy, he's probably about as good as their Scotty was for this Wonka. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, like, Timothy Chalamet just fell into the role of Willy Wonka, and, like, you were watching him and just believing that he was this guy.
Yep.
And also, Timothy Chalamet is very pretty. I didn't actually know who he was.
Naomi.
Listen, I didn't know who he was until we started watching this, and I'm like, oh, Timothy Chalamet, alright, cool. He's very pretty. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed looking at his face.
That's really funny, actually. So, that's about it. Like, I have some political things to say about it. Maybe I'll do, like, a main channel video on it.
You could.
I've been thinking of doing more stuff like that because, like...
Wait, are they bad things or good things?
Medium things.
Alright, because I didn't really think there was anything bad in this movie.
Not really. No.
Okay.
No.
Are you gonna get mad that there was black people in it, Dev? You
No.
racist?
No!
You racist!
To be fair, there was, like, a higher than average number of empowered, sassy black women in this movie. That's for sure. However, I don't care about that shit, alright?
There was one.
No, there's two.
Are you talking about the black girl?
I'm not the quartering, so I don't care about the actual, like, here's the thing. I can see someone like the quartering saying, hey, I don't want blacks in this movie because it takes place in Victorian England where there's no blacks or almost no blacks, and it's
But
like,
it doesn't.
yeah, it's like a mix max. It's like a hodgepodge. In this movie, it doesn't matter. It's all fantasy. It's fine. All right.
Oh, also, I want to say, totally ignoring that, the villains in this were actually good. They were hilariously cartoony child villains.
Yes, they were.
Child
Yeah.
like movie
So-
villains
so
as adults. You know,
the
they were
three-
really good.
The three chocolatiers.
Yeah.
One was like clearly the evil cutthroat businessman who did not give a fuck about anything other than money.
He was the extreme capitalist.
One was like kind of the foppish gay socialite.
Yeah.
Who was just like
he was always sipping on a martini, but it was chocolate.
Yeah. And then the other one is like just like a loony.
He was a loony, but he was the best one because he was always being like, the main guy would be like, and we'll make them have an accident, and then that fucking guy would be like, where they die.
Yeah.
It fucking cracked me up every time.
He was the guy who just didn't understand like not saying, like he always said the quiet part.
Yeah,
you know?
it was really funny.
He's like,
so
we're
good.
going to kill them now. It's like, okay, dude.
Listen.
And then the fourth villain was probably the corrupt police chief, and he was funny because
He's so funny.
So-
Okay, I don't remember which one is Key and which one is Peele, but he's one of the guys from the Key and Peele sketches. So good.
Okay.
I love that guy.
Now, what's really interesting is, like, I did not see them doing that many fat jokes in a 2024 movie. But there was a lot of fucking fat jokes.
Only about that guy, though.
about
Because he
him.
loved chocolate so much, he gained 150 pounds in 2 weeks.
I can see some, like, fat activists screaming somewhere on some dark corner of Twitter, being like, how could they do this?
Well, listen, the activists are also going to scream about the fact that there was a black man as a villain.
He was the villain, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So you can't have black people in movies and make them evil. They can only be good.
That's true. Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you want to know why? He's a black man. All the black
okay.
women were good in this movie.
Yes, that's true. That's a good point. Yes, yeah.
I don't know, I guess...
This was a solidly good movie. Like, I mean, it was okay because
there's
it was
two more
a
villains.
movie.
There's obviously the thug and there's the inn owner.
Yeah.
They're both villains.
I know that thug's name from somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
I know his voice. I heard his voice somewhere, and it drives me insane. That was hilarious.
There's a small side plot where they get together.
They fell in love.
Like, basically, while they're trying to sneak out, like, the captives are, like, they're trying to get them together so that they'll, like, be together.
Distracted.
And be distracted, right? So it's like, yeah, she really likes you, dude.
Gross sex stuff.
It was gross. Holy shit. It's like, she really likes you, dude. And he's like, yeah, really? Does she? And he comes out in the fucking, like, shorts.
Yeah, oh my god, those dungarees?
Something like that.
Dungaroos?
Yeah.
I don't remember what they're called, but they're those, like, German, like
lederhosen type shorts, yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. She's like, you gotta show the lady some thigh if you want her to love you. Then he fucking did. Guys, listen, this movie made us laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a surprising amount. For a kids movie. If you want to just, like, watch something to not have to think about it, good movie to watch. If you want to watch something with your children, this is a good movie to watch. It's a good movie. I suggest you watch it.
Anyway, next stream. Donate for Mean Girls.
Fuck no!